Massi Hannula, and I'm here with Lynne and Jon Hodgson, who are Ropecon Guest of Honors in 2019 here in Helsinki. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Lynne? What do you do in role-playing games?
Well, at the moment, I'm the Associate Line Editor for Call of Cthulhu for Chaosium. But I've done all sorts of things over the years, starting many moons ago with Nightfall Games, when I used to play hooky from my PhD to go and visit the guys in Glasgow to work on bits for Slay Industries for them. But I've play tested, I've written, I've edited, art directed. Most things other than art, actually, because I'm more of an embroiderer.
Also, how about you, Jon?
So I'm Jon Hodgson. I also do a lot of different jobs. Most people will know me probably for my illustration work. I also write, and I am currently working as the owner of Handiwork Games. We're publishing our own role-playing games and card games at the moment. Also, maybe a little bit more known now for doing some cartography stuff, which I do on Patreon, which is going rather well. So yeah, that's about it. But all sorts of things again.
All sorts of things. Awesome. Lynne, it's your first time in Finland.
It is.
How are you enjoying you've been here for a couple of hours, but still, how are you finding?
Well, I'm really thrilled to get here after all the chaos of the flights with Schiphol shutting down on Wednesday afternoon, because I was supposed to fly in via Schiphol. So there was a real danger I wasn't going to make it. So just really happy that I got here. And it's lovely. I mean, glorious sunshine. Really, we've just been down into the city this morning, and it's lovely in there. And I like going to historic cities in different places and just wandering about and looking and taking lots of photos of buildings and things. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, thank you.
Helsinki is really showing off today. That's great, for us at least. Jon, you've been in Finland several times. Mm-hmm. What's your favourite place in Finland?
My favourite place in Finland? Probably, we've been talking this morning about a few places. Probably in Levi, I would say. I was very lucky to come here one Christmas with my family, and
nice.
It was a very particular moment. There was one Christmas Eve with my eldest son Rory, and we were stood on a frozen lake and saw the Northern Lights, which was just amazing. And on that trip, I was really keen to see the Northern Lights, and it was very cloudy and not much was happening, but there was just a moment, and there was just me and my son on this frozen lake, which was just absolutely magical. But I mean, I love Helsinki. I've been to Helsinki a lot of times. So I've family in Finland, so yeah, I really love it as a city. Yeah, great place.
That's
so
great.
To be here, yeah.
And you'll have a little bit time after Ropecon as well to roam the city. I'd like to ask you, what's the stereotype of Finnish role player, like in your mind, or what are you expecting of, what kind of people are you expecting to meet, or events, or something? What are you expecting of Ropecon?
Well, prior to this, I only knew definitively two Finnish role players from a convention I go to in Germany called Kraken. One of them is a lovely woman who I'm expecting to hopefully meet here this weekend, and the other one, he's an axe thrower and pancake maker. So I was kind of expecting lots of axes and pancakes.
Well, axes, probably yes. I don't know about pancakes. We'll see. How about Jon? Have you met a lot of Finnish
right. Well, this is a question that I don't necessarily want to answer. I want to get out of here alive. No, I don't actually. I'm really interested to find out what Finnish role players are all about. Yeah. I don't really know. I mean, I could, because my wife is half Finnish. I have a Finnish father-in-law. I know the stereotypes of Finns in general of being very quiet, but very well-mannered and quite thoughtful, educated people. But role players, I mean, they're kind of a breed apart, aren't they? So it could be more so. It could be the opposite of that.
Well,
we'll find out.
What have you heard about Ropecon beforehand, prior to what emails I have been sending you? Maybe.
Well, when you invited me, it was like, is that the one that everybody I know that's been to has absolutely adored it? And I sent out this little message, and the overwhelming response to it was, go, do not miss this, it's wonderful. So, how could I say no? It has a very high reputation amongst British and American visitors who've been here as your previous guests. So yeah, I'm really excited and looking forward to it. And I have to say that you have been superb in the run-up. The organisation, the information, how much care you've taken of us has been really appreciated.
Thank you. we're trying our best.
Yeah, I think I have imposter syndrome because we're being so well looked after. I'm used to a slightly different level of care being taken as a guest. Yeah, fantastic. I mean, I was so delighted when I was invited because I thought I didn't think it was something I would ever do actually, and I, again, I'll just keep banging on about having Finnish family, but I really wanted to come to Ropecon, and I've been trying for a while to organise a trip where the family come and we're on holiday here secretly at the same time as Ropecon so that I could just leave the hotel. Probably stay in the hotel we're in now. Oh, there's a gaming convention on. I'll just go there for 2 days. So to be invited as a guest is just like absolutely brilliant.
We have family tickets,
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm already in a lot of trouble with my wife, who she spent most of her summers as a child in Helsinki, and she's very, very jealous that she couldn't make it, and so I've been trying to play down how much fun I'm having.
My husband's very jealous because he was here a couple of weeks ago for Odysseus, and he really wishes now that he hadn't spent all of his holiday going to international LARP so that he could come back again. And that was only a couple of weeks ago, so he loved it so much here that he really wanted to come too. But so I'm actually rubbing his nose in it, to be quite honest.
Taking a lot of selfies and sending them.
Yeah.
My wife had texted me earlier to say, "Oh, you have to go to the market and get some strawberries for me," and we were in the market eating strawberries.
That was really good.
Very good strawberries.
Awesome. Yeah. So what was the first thing you did today? Like, you arrived last night very late, and what did you get to do in Helsinki?
Game shop.
Then strawberries.
Yeah, game shop first of all. Yeah, we
So you
checked out
came
the local game shop. Yeah.
So you came to a role-playing convention and then you went to a role-playing store just before that.
Oh, yeah, you kind of have to.
That's awesome. That's
we were doing a bit of pre-shopping, selecting things.
I don't know if you used to do this when I used to go on holiday with my parents. I always, when you had to look in the backs of games magazines to work out all the game stores, wherever my dad said we were going on holiday, I would get the magazines out and like, is there a gaming store there? And I would somehow manage to steer us past the game shop wherever we were on holiday. Much to the amusement of my parents. Yeah, we do it because we're both gamers. My parents never really quite understood what the heck we were doing, but they were always fascinated by it. And, that convention still goes on.
Yeah, definitely.
Find the game store.
Awesome. So you both have some program items that you're hosting or are in Ropecon. Could you tell us a little bit, like, what are you going to do? What are you waiting to tell to Ropecon participants? Can you remember? There was so many things.
So I've still got some slides to make today, actually, because I'm putting together. So I'm doing a little talk about my work and the kind of things I get up to. And it's been really interesting looking back. It makes me very tired looking back over a body of work I made for, I don't know, when did I go full time as an artist? 1999. So it's been quite interesting looking back and just pulling together a timeline of different things that I've done, it's been really interesting to look at all that. So we'll take a bit of a walk through the various weird things. Hope if anyone's interested in kind of becoming an illustrator or working in the industry, it will show that winding path of sort of mistakes and missteps, and it's all right, it'll work out all right in the end.
It was really funny listening to you talking to yourself this morning after breakfast when you were pulling in and going, oh my God, why did I do that?
Yeah, looking back at old work that I forgot I did. Which, there's a story, I tell the story all the time, but I'll tell it again. I used to work in a role-playing game store, and weirdly, it was in Leeds in England, and regular customers at that store, it's Travelling Man in Leeds, still a brilliant shop. Ralph Horsley, Wayne Reynolds, Kev Walker were all customers, and I was totally in awe of these guys. And I used to kind of try and summon up my courage to maybe ask them one question about how to be an artist or how to work professionally. Kev wasn't always sure what products his artwork was appearing on, because now I know that's often the way it is. You're commissioned to make a piece of work. You don't necessarily know what product it was going on. But I remember naively thinking, I'll never be like that. I'll know what games my work's on. And then somewhere along the line, you just totally lose a grip on that. And I was looking through the internet going, oh yeah, I did that. The other day I discovered a Warhammer historical book. I think it's called Siege, that I did all the artwork for and the cover, that I have no memory of doing at all.
Wow.
Which surprised me because I've got quite a ridiculous memory.
Pretty good.
I don't remember doing it. I don't know what, was I ill at the time? I don't know anyway. But yeah, so I'll be doing that, and then what else have we got? We've got the
Gender and Gaming
panel. Yeah, looking forward to listening to people really in that one more than in talking.
That's going to be interesting because we've got the woman who's moderating it has come up with some interesting questions that aren't always addressed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Having spoken to a lot of the women that I work with to get their view on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm aware that my experience in the industry is not necessarily representative, largely because I'm totally oblivious and stubborn. So there's a lot of problems that I know other women have had that I haven't, because I've just usually ignored it or just hadn't realised it was there. So that one, I will be wittering on about what I've got up to in my life. And then I've got one on kind of the history of the mythos and how it ended up as a game, which I had to do some research for. So that's kind of the academic one. And then also whatever else it is you need us to do, because we are here at your convenience.
Yes, well, we'll show you the Ropecon and rock, paper, scissors tournament and all crazy things we have here. It's the only one, I think, in the world, the rock, paper, scissors tournament that is happening in Bouncing Castle.
Is it?
The Bouncy Castle?
Yes, yes it is.
Yay!
It's a Bouncing Castle for adults, so I think we will head there first before the queue. Thank you very much for the interview, and I hope you have a fantastic Ropecon.
Thank you
Thank
very much
you.
for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.